Will Sykes. I'm the co-founder of Reliance Sports.
What's up, everybody? Y'all heard what I said podcast. Here with Reliance Sports. We're here with a great friend of mine, Will Sykes, co-founder, president of basketball marketing and operations. So I got a few questions for you, Will. Today I want to talk a little bit about your agency and some more stuff.
Of course.
So first question I got is, how did Reliance Sports come to fruition?
Reliance Sports came together, I would say, like a year and a half ago. At the time, I was trying to expand my experience as a scout intern and try to dive into like bigger agencies, but no one would really give me a shot. So out of that frustration, I sat down with my Uncle Hoss, and it was then we decided that we're just gonna start our own thing. Shortly after that, we brought on our cousin, my cousins Khalil and Robert, and then the four of us are co-founders of Reliance.
Right.
And we've just been hitting the ground running ever since.
And so far, what has this journey been like for you in starting this with your family and also becoming an MBPA agent?
It's been ups and downs, man. We've got a lot of no's and a few yeses, but those few yeses have catapulted us in ways that I could never imagine just a year and a half.
Exactly.
We're blessed to say we're sitting here with 14 clients, half collegiate student athletes, half that play professional sports, whether it's football, basketball. And we're just, I would say we're blessed to get this far, this fast. So that's really, I would say that's really it right there.
Yeah, and speaking of you guys in general, tell us a little bit about the specialty you guys provide. 'Cause I know you say you got some yes, you got some no's, but you have 14 total clients. I know you're continuing to grow.
Yeah.
So, like, what are the type of specialties you provide that makes you a great organization?
Well, we really just try to be like a one-stop shop, you know what I mean? From obviously like contract negotiations and marketing deals, like that's the foundation, of course, for any sports
Exactly.
agency. But we also offer physical training, dietary needs, financial literacy. Just for example, at the top of the year, we enrolled all of our clients at the time into a cryptocurrency seminar, so they could properly know how to invest and research on crypto and really analyze the market. Because at the end of the day, we know the reason that we're all working together is because they play sports, obviously. But we want them in a position to where as though they can make money outside of sports, so that when their playing days do end, whenever it does end, they're still able to make some money in some shape, way, or form.
Right. And in what ways have you marketed your brand for people to see, like, your clients in general and future interests, for them to see you as a top tier organization?
But we really pressed the aspect of family, because it was family that started this.
Right.
So we really pushed the family aspect out and really, have people understand that we're just not a typical sports agency. We're not just here to, collect our percentage and go about our day. That we really care about our guys, just like we would care for, our relatives. You know what I mean? And just having that type of trust and transparency has done wonders for us. And it's garnered us, I would say, a respectable name in the sports community.
Great. And I know you guys already have working partnerships and sponsors, and we're in one right now where you're official sponsor. So what do you hope to accomplish as being a sponsor of St. Francis Athletics?
Really just, helping these student athletes just become the best version of themselves, you know what I mean? Because our sponsorship is not just about, them playing on the court or playing in the football field. It's really just, providing them with the necessary resources and tools needed, so they can, continue their careers, not just playing, but also academically, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we have a great relationship with basketball head coach and athletic director Nick Miles, who, gave us, that opportunity to even do this. So from day one. So it's been, a grateful partnership between us and St. Francis here, and it's definitely something that we'll keep pushing, for years to come.
And speaking of Nick Miles, we all know Nick Miles ourselves, so we know that's a great partnership between you and him. He's a good man. He was my coach.
Get dressed.
He said, "Come on, man, get dressed." That man used to give us, like, I'm wearing a size 10. He'll give us a size 12 shoe just to get us to come play, knowing we can't fit the shoe.
Yeah.
Like, even though he care about everything and all that.
Especially my infamous story.
Oh, I know
Size
about
12,
your
he gave me a
story.
size 9. And I was 17, he wanted me to play with 14 on.
Whoa.
At the
every
y'all had a triple double that day.
Yeah.
I had people ask me, what high school you go to?
Yeah, sure. We're not even gonna dive into that.
Speaking of what you just brought up with the family oriented, so pretty much all of your clients that we interviewed today, they brought up how big a part you guys are in the family, that you guys let them handle things on the court or on the field, while you guys are such an integral part of making sure they're taken care of mentally and emotionally, and you're not just worried about yourself financially. A lot of your clients said they've known you before this was even a thing years ago, and the family thing has never changed. If anything, it's increased in intensity and more support. How do you think that's going to motivate your clients to be the best that they can be?
They feel at ease knowing that we're going for them in such a genuine way. They don't have to worry about us trying to weasel them or, just trying to put them in situations, whether it's playing situations or marketing situations, for our benefit. With any, situation, I always, sit down with them and tell them the pros and cons and just lay it all out for them. And, so that way they can ultimately make the best, move for themselves. Because at the end of the day, we work for them. They don't work for us. Yeah. So it's my job to make sure that they're always squared away in every shape, way, and form. So that's really the emphasis that we put on it. And, luckily they've expressed that to y'all today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also a lot of them, they also like to go along with that, with the family aspect. A lot of them also mentioned you that you really care about them, that you send them texts and stuff, you always check on them, you get them a bunch of deals and stuff. Like, how happy does that make you, knowing that you're making such an impact on their lives, on and off the field?
That's the end goal. That's the purpose. You know what I mean? That's why we get up and do what we do every day, and that's why we do it consistently. So they can come to people such as yourselves and say, I'm satisfied here because they're getting the job done. You know what I mean? And every deal, whether it's playing or marketing, is something that they like. It's something that they saw themselves doing. Like, again, just to go back, it's not something that we forced on them. Like, take this, you have to do this. Like, no, it's always a conversation. How do you feel about it? Can you see yourself doing this? Because the more hype and the more relatable a situation is to them, the more they're gonna push it anyway. You know what I mean? And at that point, it's out of my hands because no one wants a micromanager on them. To be like, oh, did you do this today? Did you promote this? Did you go to practice? Did you work out? We don't have to do that because all of our guys already have that mindset anyway. And it's because of that communication and transparency that is allowed that to flourish in that manner.
How'd you come up with the name Reliance? Like, what made y'all name it Reliance?
My cousin Khalil actually came up with the name because I was actually stumped. I didn't know what to call it. So one day my cousin Khalil was like, what about Reliance? Just, at the pure definition, Reliance is being, in a sense, reliable, trustworthy.
Yeah, right.
Being a confidant in a way, you know what I mean? And that just exemplifies everything that we're doing now. So it was just the perfect name.
Yeah, we can relate. Like, even with our podcast, it took us a while to come up with our name. Like, y'all heard what I said, because the name is in itself. Y'all heard what I said, y'all gonna hear what we say.
Right.
Like, we're outspoken people.
When you hear the name of something, you want to make sure it's coming
This
back.
wasn't our original name.
It wasn't our original name either.
What was the original name?
I said what
I said what
I said. We heard.
Yeah.
We had to do some research, and there was another podcast, females had already had.
Yeah.
Like, we had already, like, our first couple episodes said, "Yep, you heard what I said."
Yeah.
Skits based around that. It's like, we can't. All right, how can we tweak it without changing the faces? And speaking on that, I could tell based off of just the way you letting us know in the info that everything you do, especially this, you've been dialed it, you didn't know how you was going to start it, but everything involves taking a risk.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the risk you've taken with at least some of these clients? A lot of the clients not being well-known names from big colleges and universities, a lot of people being hometown grown, and just knowing that you had to take that leap of faith, take that risk, and knowing that they got somebody there that's willing to take the risk on them, knowing that they don't got all the spotlight, all the highlights. How do you think that keeps them motivated to help the partnership with you guys, so you guys take care of each other?
Well, I let them know off jump that I relate to it. Just 3 years ago when I started this journey in sports management, nobody gave me a shot. I remember on LinkedIn and Instagram, basically cold calling different agents and companies, just trying to get a chance, just trying to get an opportunity to get my foot in the door. And I know how hard it is to not have somebody believe in you. You know what I mean? And so like I see me and them in that aspect. So why not just to give somebody a chance? Because at the worst, it's not gonna hurt me. It's not gonna hurt what we do. You know what I mean? But at its best, which has been done so far, they flourish. They get deals. They get to play anywhere they want at their choosing, and it's just been beneficial. So I'm a risk taker. You know, so if I feel like somebody can play and they got a good heart and a good mind, why not? Why not? I literally.
Yeah, speaking of that, Mo was actually telling us that he was the first client that signed with you, and you were just talking about how the trust was there, that you both took a chance on each other, not knowing how it would turn out. And look where it's gotten both of you guys to.
Yeah.
So
Mo, that's really my guy. I got mad love for Mo because like he found us. He came to us looking for opportunity, and you know, coming to an agency at that time that had no skin in the game,
right,
no clients, no connections, and he was like, you know, let's try to build something. You know what I mean? And for that, I love that man for life. You know what I mean? Like he'll always have a room or a spot somewhere here in Reliance Sports. You know, just off of that, and it's because of him, honestly, that everything steamrolled into what we are today. You know, because at that time we wasn't even getting in, and there was people saying, oh, they got a guy, you know, that's played professionally overseas in just a few months. You know what I mean? And it just went from there. Then we signed Tyran. Then Mo brought us Drew. A week after we got Drew left for Portugal to play. And then it just went from there. You know what I mean? Mo was at the center of everything. If he didn't come to us, I don't know how this would have started, honestly.
Basically saying probably wouldn't have been media day today.
Right, literally. Yeah, man, we all probably be home watching TV or something.
I got a couple more questions for you. How was your experience at the Vegas Summer League?
Oh man, it was eye-opening. It was extremely eye-opening. Just to be able to network with players, coaches, execs. You know, just to have our name in the room. You know,
right.
You know, as a young guy from Baltimore, that was just, I don't know, it was just surreal. It hasn't honestly even set in yet. You know, just because the way we was able to move around the summer league, you know, just shake hands and do different things like that. Like, you know, I was able to have dinner with a few players, with some coaches. I actually had a business meeting in the middle of a game, you know. So it was just a crazy experience. I was only out there for like 4 days though, but I made the most of it. But you know, moving forward, I'm definitely going to go for the bulk of it, because it's just, if you're trying to make it in the basketball industry, you have to be there in some shape, way, or form. You're not there, then you don't take this seriously.
Like a basketball convention.
Literally,
yeah.
You don't take this seriously if you don't make that trip to Vegas.
Right. And lastly, what do you see for the future of Reliance Sports?
To become an empire, you know, on the foundation of family. You know, no matter how big we get, how influential we become, the morals will never change. We will continue to vet properly, whether it's clients or staff that align with our mission statement. Because at some point, the bigger we get, obviously, I'm not going to be able to touch directly every single client that we have. But every agent that we do have will have the same mindset that I have, that cousin Rob has, that Uncle Boss has, that cousin Khalil has, you know, because that is the core, and that's never going to be lost. You know, I refuse to let that be lost. So it really comes down to that.
My God, appreciate you, Will.
Yeah, of course. You know,
y'all know.
I had to come chop it up with my guy.
15 years now. I'm really proud of everything he's doing. No doubt it's going to be an empire in Reliance Sports.
Keep telling him he the Baltimore Rich Paul. I tell him this all the time.
Baltimore
Rich Paul.
Rel been my homeboy since I had zero facial hair, and even before I had braces and I had crazy crooked teeth. Like, this is really my guy, man.
My guy right here.
Way back. Yes, sir.
Hey, one more question real quick, Will.
Yeah.
The Chargers going to make the playoffs?
Of course, man.
There we go.
We won the division.
Justin Herbert, top 5 quarterback.
He get MVP.
There we go.
Yeah.
Y'all heard what I said? Sports Think Tank Podcast. Right here, Reliance Sports Co-Founder Will Sykes.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing big things. We love the future for y'all. Appreciate you having us here, and we appreciate the interview with you and all of your staff and your clients.
Of course, man. Appreciate y'all even coming out here, man. It's truly something I take deeply and genuinely.
Same
you know
thing.
what I mean? Yeah, we're gonna keep building though. This is the beginning. This is the first interview, people. You know? Yeah.
Hey, co-founder of Reliance Sports, y'all, William Sykes.
Yes, sir.
And as we said, y'all heard what he said.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard what he said.